What's going on, Capricorn? This is your eclipse reading. So let us dive in. I'm very excited. The messages have been incredible for the other signs so far. So let's do this. So I would like to invite the angels, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe and brave space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. All right. I've tried to do readings without saying that little quiet prayer before, and I feel like it doesn't just set the intention for me. It's also about it's like there's a protective bubble that starts to form around, which is profound to me energetically and for the messages that I get. So, Capricorn, let's do this. Let's do this. So, this is the Journey of Love Oracle by Alana Fairchild. If any of the decks appeal to you, I put the links in the description below. Interesting. Within nothing, there is everything. It almost looks like an eye. Within nothing, there is everything, and riding the cosmic wave. It almost strikes me. Well, hang on. Let me pull the others first. Let me pull the others here. Let's get some friends for these cards here, Spirit. Shifting universes. I'm almost getting some decisions being made here, Capricorn. Decisions. Becoming. Wow. A lot of beautiful, I'm hearing cosmic tear, but in the best kind of way. Like there's something that you're rewriting here. Let me just grab the book for this. I did not have it with me, but I'm going to get it now. Okay. So I'm going to read, there's so many good cards here. I'm going to read Becoming. That one is quite loud to me. So that's a 34. Yes, you are manifesting your divine purpose. Yet what is happening now is just one of many inspired brushstrokes on the canvas of your life's work. You are the artist who paints with trust, instinctive and spontaneous, with faith in the process unfolding. You are not the painter using numbered squares who has finished a vision even before commencing the task, with a map for all steps of the journey. Your lack of plan renders you open and receptive to divine direction. You are capable of being moved by spirit. You are a brave adventurer, so celebrate what you are creating now and realize that it is a step in your major work of divine art, this life of yours. Not to be planned, but to be experienced. Ooh, I got goosebumps on that one. Stroke after stroke, step after step, you shall witness the picture coming to life. It may not be what you expected, but it will be the most beautiful, extraordinary creation. This oracle brings you comfort that you are blossoming, and each petal unfolding is another step closer to your ultimate divine fulfillment. There is a message here too, that a relationship or a project that you are keen to move forward will bloom in its own unique way. Give it breathing room and be willing to let it become what it seeks to be. Even without a clear direction or plan, sometimes even because of that, there's an inner plan that can come to fruition. Wow. So basically, this is huge. This is super duper surrender. I feel like there's a choice, but how can you know what the choice is if you're in this surrender place, right? Very, very interesting, Capricorn. Wow. There may be a need to ground some of this energy as well. I'm just feeling some of that for you, Cap. What went through my mind on this particular one, this Becoming card, was a lot of Neptune, like a lot of this sort of the beautiful nebulous blob of energy, and sort of, I'm also hearing stardust, but it's just this becoming, like it's the undoing and then the coming together of. So it's almost like there's something that you're undoing. Let me see if I can turn this light off because of the shine here. If it's not going to affect the quality. It's morning right now. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, that's good. That's great. Okay. So I'm going to use the Smith-Waite Tarot here to clarify. Within nothing, there is everything. It's almost like you're able to take there's this perspective shift, right? Like you're just getting the big picture view when you're in this place of joy and leaning in 444 on the time. It's like you get this bigger take, and it allows you to see the nothing and everything in like the energy that is the true story of yourself, the true story of the things and people and energies that you're encountering. And that's this like shifting universes. Is it's sort of this like I'm almost getting this way that it's like coming together and falling apart. Like what I'm hearing is almost like the sound of metal grinding, like gears grinding. And it's like you're changing the story from within, and you're taking all of these, what were disparate, messy parts and messy timelines and stories and all of this. And you're sort of clearing the slate. I'm hearing you're wiping the canvas clean so that you can create something that is truly your own, Capricorn. Truly your own is what just came to me. Interesting. Spirit, can I get some messages for Capricorn here for this eclipse reading? Both of them. Knight of Swords and the Fool. It's like onward, but where? Like, it's like hearing this energy of like, haha, but I don't know. Like that, it's this energy of like charge forward, but you're also just like, I'm like, this is like, think of if this were a movie character, this would be like the dude, right? Like things are happening, but they're happening in their own time and you're good with it. The dude to the extent that like you're also still taking responsibility for where you are, but like, you're seeing everything. And this could also just be two parts of yourself that you're kind of bringing together now, where there's this part that's more carefree and in that surrendered state. And the Knight of Swords may be this sort of, I'm getting Mars energy off of this, where you're kind of in a, more, so I'm getting this Uranian energy on this card as being disconnect, but also surrender more than disconnect. And then from this energy, I'm getting this, like, there's a lot, like the stakes seem high for something, Capricorn. So it's like there's these two parts of what you're dealing with. And it's like the Fool energy, this sort of take a step back energy, is allowing you to get a much better and higher perspective of the situation as it's meant to unfold. I'm hearing, so that is, did I shuffle it to the thing? Okay, no, that's fine. So 6 of Swords. Yeah, I'm getting the vibe that you're leaning more into Fool energy as opposed to the Knight of Swords energy, which is like, go, 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 go. Like, it's just this energy of like, do. I would think of the Knight of Swords as like the kind of ultimate taskmaster in a way, but it's also this like taking fast action. And like, I think that there's sometimes a rush to this, right? Like you're rushing to the finish line. But then the Fool energy is this like, hurry up and wait, right? And it's like you're stepping out of these binaried ways of being and you're moving towards something that's a lot more peaceful for you, Capricorn, a lot more harmonious. And I think that this, okay, that wants to come out anyway. So what came out on the split was Justice and the Page of Swords, which to me is kind of, messages that you're getting about what is not just actually happening, but instead of this like inner conflict that you're feeling and you're seeing it manifest outward, this bigger take. So there's some way that you're taking a step back right now, or that you need to take a step back right now, Capricorn, and really see, I'm hearing the forest for the trees, but there's more than that. Like I'm hearing bird song, like I'm hearing robins singing and the red-winged blackbirds and their particular call. Those could be animals that are relevant. But Justice, this Justice card here, I feel like there's something that energetically is not just shifting, but like you're rebalancing something and you're moving towards that state of balance, Capricorn, which is quite lovely. Shifting universes. Let's see what we've got here. Shifting universes. Spirit, can you please clarify this? I'm hearing that Dolby surround sound when movies start up. So it's almost like maybe you've already done the shifting. Maybe you've already done the balancing and like the movie is just starting. Like the movie that this becoming is starting. 5 of Cups. I think you have to forgive yourself a little bit. Yeah, there's a cycle that's ending or ended here, Capricorn. There's something that's like, I see. Okay. I just heard FOMO. Like there's maybe like a bit of a fear of missing out here. Like as things shift and change, you have to understand, Capricorn, that when things change, the people in our lives change, the things that are, demanded of us change, our own expectations change. As our energy shifts and we step into this becoming energy of rewriting the story, when we're really in that rewriting, we have to understand that there are things that it will feel like we're leaving behind. It will feel like there are people and situations because they are no longer tolerable given the energy shifts that are taking place within us. This isn't to create a hierarchy out of something and say this is more appropriate than this. No. This is just to say that there are specific things that shift and that don't fit anymore, but there are new things coming in, right? Like this is sort of the, I almost get death vibes off of this, the World card and the Three of Pentacles. Like this is sort of the letting go, the shedding of a skin, like the shedding of something and letting it go, that shifting universe. And then this is the new creative potential, like the new seeds being planted. Because I think that there's been hard work, but it's not that it hasn't been recognized. But I'm getting that FOMO in this particular, so fear of missing out in this particular instance for you, Capricorn, is less about actually missing out on something and feeling like there's no, like feeling like you've lost your connection to community based on the 11th house energy here in the Fool. Like there's some way of connecting to others that you feel cut off from. But the Justice card here reminds me of balance, but there's also there's balance, but there's also this sort of cause and effect. Like there's a causal thing happening here. The cause was you growing, 1111 just on the time now. There's you growing, there's you expanding, there's you, I'm feeling like Jupiter and Pisces energy here. More Saturn though. And like Saturn lessons can, like they're not necessarily easy, but they are very much... they can make life a lot more stable if we lean into them, Capricorn. And I think that that's what's sort of happening here is like there's something about your stability and this creative potential that's coming from this shift, this tearing of old things down that is really helping you. And it's, bringing in these messages of inspiration from Spirit. But it's also, I think this is you being aware of the messages that Spirit is sending you every day. And like you're more attuned to... when love shows up, like I'm hearing infectious enthusiasm shows up, like all of these things will show up at your doorstep and you're better able to welcome them because the welcome mat is out. Like if you have a welcome mat at your door that's kind of subconscious or you're unconscious of that says like piss off, like who's going to come, right? Who's going to show up at that door and want to step in through? So I feel like this is really about you. Yeah, see, and that's like, it's like that energy at the doorstep that was there. But this, okay, yeah, oh my goodness. Okay, so we have the Four of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. So this is like not just a shift, but you healing things and new energy coming in. Like we've got a page, we've also got an ace. So this to me is like the universe co-conspiring with people in your life to bring in messages of inspiration. Could be a fire sign or potentially someone that's slightly younger than you doing this, I guess I heard catalyzing and mobilizing this energy. But it can also just be things that make you feel youthful, that connect you to this like sense of playful innocence, right? So on this Becoming card, we have the Page of Swords. A lot of page energy here. Ooh, I'm getting this... So we have the Page of Wands kind of looking at the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords, the way that the head is faced is like the Page of Wands is like looking up at it. I'll show you what I see. So it was like this. So the Page of Wands is like looking up at the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is looking down. And I think that this is like this competing energy inside of you. Like, do I trust my gut and go, or like, do I trust my gut instinct, Page of Wands, or do I go with my, do I go with logic? Do I go with reason? I think that this is just calling for these things to be aligned. And I think that there's a way, this is also to me like the way it's coming through in this particular reading is observing new ideas, shifts in perception as well. So it's almost like welcoming in new paradigms, even if you don't fully understand all of it, even if there's not this like... you don't have to understand what everything is for right out of the gate, right? I'm almost getting that there's like a spiritual awakening of a kind happening for a Capricorn here. Like, I feel like there's, like, we go through different levels of it, right? There's no real like, yeah, now I'm done, I am awake forevermore. No, there's different levels that we become awake to within ourselves, and we become awake to different aspects of ourselves, and our patterns and habits. Yeah, different aspects of ourselves and our patterns and habits. Well, thanks for that, Nine of Pentacles and Devil energy. Like, as I said it. But I think that there's a way that these aspects of ourselves become more apparent. And when they become more apparent, not only can we change them, but then we can also work with them. And I'm hearing, like, I'm seeing the kneading of bread, like someone's kneading dough. And then I heard the teasing out of the stuff, like the air bubbles, right? The air bubbles just being things that sort of disconnect you and that will kind of mess with the rising of the dough. I'm not supposed to eat gluten, so I'm not sure why the bread thing came in. It doesn't do bad things, but it just it's not so good for the ADHD. Okay, Page of Swords. What else we got here? And this may also be, I was like, why did I think of food? This could also, Capricorn, just be a call to watch things that kind of screw with your energy in terms of additives, preservatives, things that are in food. Like, for example, what came to mind, the reason why that came to mind is I was thinking about this balancing effect, and not only relative to the kneading of dough, but I was thinking about balancing and how there are times where I can get out of balance energetically if I have things that have red dye in them. That's a big one, not just for ADHD, but for others too. And anything that has like wheat and things like that tend to process foods, like it makes, like, they process differently internally. So it because of the way that it kind of messes with sugar levels and glucose levels and attention span, it can really do some harm if it's like, if I need my focus to be in a specific way. I don't know where this is coming from, but it may just be a call to watch what you're consuming. Because I think that there may be something of importance to that. And generally speaking, anytime we go through energy shifts, it's really important to ground the energy, but also to ground the energy through nourishing foods, to ground the energy through, foods that that are just good for us, right? Like, who really likes to eat salad? Well, no one really I love salads. I'm not going to lie. There's ways you can spice them up so you're not just a little rabbit eating a piece of celery. But, like having smoothies in the morning that are not laden with sugar, that have like 0% fat Greek yogurt, that have no sugar. There's no sugar in that Greek yogurt, and then having like pineapple and a little bit of mango with flaxseed, like those types of things. I'm not sure where this is coming from, Capricorn. But it's stuff like that where it's like, even if there's ways that you're like, ugh, salads, you can balance it with other things in your day so that it's not like the worst thing, right? Throwing spinach into a smoothie, for example, with some strawberries and peanut butter so that you have like a PB&J spinach smoothie, which doesn't sound appetizing, but it actually doesn't taste that horrible, right? So there's ways that you can balance it, but I'm getting that perhaps some aspect of grounding energy through physical means, like through your body, grounding energy through food that you intake is important here, Capricorn. Strength. I feel like this becoming is you stepping into that place of strength. And I think it's really going to be helping you to embrace life again. I was thinking embrace life again. Interesting. You could also have water in your chart somewhere, Capricorn. So do check out the water readings if you have any, check your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs. This particular set of readings were profound. King of Cups, King of Pentacles. I almost get that this is like, these are two different energies that you will probably encounter through this. Or post shift, like as you begin to make this shift. King of Cups, King of Pentacles. And that might be where this choice is coming from. I feel like there's something you may have to choose here, Capricorn. Perhaps like a grounded path. This could be people, this could be paths. I'm going to get some clarification though. But I'm hearing that you'll know what to do. Like you'll know what to do, because I think if you're in touch with this page, you're also, this Page of Wands here is like gut instinct. Yeah, there's something that you're more sure of. And I think that this is kind of, to me, saying that there's a manifestation happening here that's like you'll know what to do. This is you understanding what to do. Even if you doubt, I think you're on the right track here, Cap. Yeah, you're on the right track. Okay, so that was me asking if it was love, and that's what came out. So, and then the Two of Cups on the bottom of that. So this is, this could be passion for what you do, but I get the impression that this is something that could heal your relationship to love, heal your relationship to letting love in, to the construct or idea of what relationship was. There's something that you're rewriting here that's changing the game for you. And not changing the game as in like the goalpost, because that is one of my pet peeves when people do stuff like that. It's like changing the goalpost without telling you. I don't know why that's important, but I feel like you need to know that the goalposts aren't changing. The rules of the game are more, they haven't changed either, but you're aware of the actual rules of the game instead of the ones that you've been told to use as part of strategy. Weird. I'm seeing a chessboard here with like a knight. It could be that there's, I don't play chess at all, but it could be that there's a way that you felt like every move had to be super calculated and you had to walk carefully. Yeah, but this is like, to me, you had to walk super carefully, but I think the remedy for that is getting in touch with your intuition. And I think that this is coming to you as knowings. Like I'm getting claircognizance, like there's a knowing that you have with the Star and the Ace of Cups here. There's just this knowing, and that could be the Page of Swords here as like claircognizance, and I'm getting the page here as like clairsentience. Like these could be two clairs that you're working with. That's quite interesting, actually. But I'm getting that there's something connected to Saturn about clairsentience. So if there's a Saturn lesson or a particularly cyclical lesson that you're learning, lean into your clairsentient gifts, because I think that those will unlock something here for you. I think that this is going to be part of an inner knowing that you're just going to be like, oh yeah, the rules, right? What rules? We make them up as we go, right? For most things anyway. But I think that that's what you're connecting with here. And then I get the impression that the interaction with these either two parts of yourself or two people, there's something you're going to have to be really confident about here, Capricorn. Like you're going to need to bring, not just like, it's not about bringing your best self to the table. I think that this is about bringing your whole self, the whole imperfect, messy self, because that's the cup, like that's the cup that can be filled and refilled and emptied and pour it into another, right? Because if you just bring this like styrofoam cup when you've got a whole ass chalice, I feel like it doesn't really do justice to what's possible. And I think that the healing here is stepping into that wholeness. And I think that the healing here too is also you understanding that wisdom comes from within you, number one, but number two, that it is possible to rewrite this story, that you're not bound to there's no fixed timeline that you're even like. I think that this is the fixed signs showing up in the world here on this shifting universes. This is like fixed mindsets, right? Four of Pentacles. And then we have the Four of Swords, like these fixed mindsets that we're healing. But I think you need to understand that there's no fixed way that you have to be. You're not bound to anything here. You're not bound to anything. I'm just going to pull one more and the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I think this is like, it's going to take time. Like this is something that isn't going to just like overnight, Capricorn. And you may feel like this push-pull. That Nine of Swords was on the bottom. Yeah, the Moon. It's going to take time, but I think you have to lean into and give it time. You have to give it time. And I think that this is also giving yourself time, which is a lot of healing that you need, right? Giving yourself the time to sort through this and to get through this is going to be something that is not just healing for you, but it's going to be a way that you are able to then heal other people, because these processes, as we heal them, sorry, I almost started coughing on my own saliva. But there's a way that when we start to heal these processes, it's not that we give that specific knowledge to others. I mean, if that's part of what you feel you're doing through your Chiron, amazing, because we do, it's necessary. The world needs it. But what I'm talking about here is more so that when we learn a lesson, we can integrate that into a way of being, that when we bring that to places like relationships, it can't help but be healing and coming from that higher place within us, which is really, truly beautiful energy, Capricorn. So I think that that's phenomenal. But this Knight of Pentacles is here, I think, just to remind you to take your time. Take your time. There's no rush, right? There's no rush. Mark your progress, not your perfection, right? This is the march of steady progress. And I think that you are making progress beyond what you might think. I'm going to pull from the chakra deck right now for you, Cappies. My caps. Spirit, can I get some messages for Capricorn for this solar eclipse in Taurus, this new moon in Taurus? Integrity. See, and that's where I think this push-pull, like this perspective, is allowing you to feel more integrated, but also more in a place of integrity within yourself. And I get the impression that this is like, it struck me as an eye, and it's almost like your third eye that you're connecting with, and it's really freeing you. And there's like, I'm feeling some kind of crown and third eye integration here. So let's read this. So within nothing, there is everything, which is, so I love that. Okay, so integrity. I am aligned with my higher truth and am deeply and lovingly honest with myself. I listen to the truth in my heart and know what is right within me, aware that many truths can exist. I am ethical and integrous in my actions. I have integrity. People can get integrity a bit twisted around and say like it's a specific thing that's outside of you. It's what you do. But I think integrity it's important to understand it in the context of how you are with yourself. How you are with yourself. Connection. Another crown chakra card. Okay. I recognize the connectedness of all life. I honor my connection to all that is. I embody universal love. I am worthy of God's unconditional love. I am open to new connections and possibilities as I explore the gift of consciousness. Yes. That is beautiful. And third eye. That's, yeah, like this third eye vision. Anyways, so this is where the High Priestess too, like this is an intuitive process. And I think that's why it's taking a lot of time, because what shows up in the 5D, it's not that it takes a long time to show up in the 3D. It's also, it's that it's passing through a lot of filters and thought processes that we have. So along the way, these realizations or these huge shifts, right? This rewriting of stories takes place sometimes internally before we see it manifest outside of us, which is truly beautiful, because that means that to me, that's a sign of it being something that's truly long lasting, right? It's not something that's scratching the surface or a superficial change that's just going to shift tomorrow. Like this is something that is long lasting, Capricorn. So I feel like this is almost the beginning of a cycle for you. This could be, you could have north or south nodes in Taurus and Scorpio, or north and south nodes in fixed signs. But this is just the general third eye card. So soar like an eagle to find clarity. Things are not always as they seem. See the beauty and the gift in everything. Pay attention to the messages that are gifted to you in life through your imagination. Dare to dream and create a vision for your life. You are the creator of your own reality. Yes. And I think it's almost like this is an empowered manifesting place, right? Empowered manifesting. Because I feel like there was a way that you were struggling before with manifesting, right? The thing about this is like 3D manifesting, and then the Magician is like 5D manifesting, right? 3D manifesting is like wrestling with things and really tussling with our ego, and like we're still connected to our eternal self, but this feels so much more challenging a way to do it. And I think that this is the awareness. You're becoming more self-aware of this part of yourself. And I think the choice, again, it could be between two people, or, it could be that two people are making you aware of this choice for yourself, Capricorn. But I'm getting that this is something that is actually really profoundly healing for you. Dare to dream and create a vision for your life. And if we're talking about big picture, there's a hawk right there as well, Capricorn. And then in terms of signs and things, so we have justice. So this, the Fool is 11th house in Uranian energy. Justice is Libran energy, and that is, 7th house energy. It also is connected to Venus because of, I just heard the heart wants what the heart wants. What? I don't understand. Okay. Anyways, I don't need to understand. That's the beauty of it. The World is Saturn. And that is 10th house with your sign. So that's the native rule of your house, or of the 10th house anyway. We also have Strength, which is 5th house in Leo. It's almost like this is kind of working through issues that you have related to other people, or like friendships, um, or there's a way that you saw friendships, Capricorn, I'm getting, because there's a lot. I mean, we have Aquarius here, which is more 11th house energy. And I'm getting that the houses are more important. The houses are more important than the signs. I don't know who that's for. But this is 5th house energy. And that's like, to me, that's like creativity, that's being connected to joy. That's the sign of pleasure. There's like 7th house is like the steadfast, like long-term relationship. 5th house is more in the moment pleasure, right? So based on these energies, I mean, I could say that there's a way that you're more creatively connecting with parts of yourself that are allowing you to be more accessible and available to people around you, Capricorn. And sometimes this stuff is just minor, like it's not these earth-shattering shifts, right? And I'll pull from the Everyday Miracles deck here as well. Actually, this jumped out. All things are lessons Spirit would have me learn. All things are lessons Spirit would have me learn. It takes great it takes great learning to understand that all things, events, encounters, and circumstances are helpful. So it's almost like forgiving what has taken place in the past, and maybe forgiving yourself, but also just making peace with the path. Because sometimes it can feel like the path is like kind of bumping us around and we're getting like jarred. Like it's like when I went to, I was in Puerto Vallarta and I took public transit. And a lot of people would be like, what are you doing? But it's like I went off the resort and I went on public transit to go to the main drag of the beach. And the bus ride was so bumpy. It was so bumpy. And I remember feeling like this must be the inspiration for where the night bus in the movie Harry Potter came from. Because it was just, and it's just indicative of the fact that like a lot of the money and infrastructure from government goes into the resorts because that's where money is for these towns, right? And it's very, like the road itself was just very poorly kept, and infrastructure for locals in those instances, this is part of the global north-south divide that is at the heart of a lot of economic and socioeconomic inequality, is that the infrastructural aspects of urban planning decisions in those areas they're not made to support the infrastructure for the locals who use it and who are among the working classes, as opposed to, the tourists coming into the resort. So anyways, this is the background, my urban planning education just went whoop and like shot out into the reading. But like, with these things coming into play, like urban planning and environmental sciences, let's be real here, environmental studies, all of this to say it might feel like you're being kind of like bumped around, but you're still on the right bus. So just sit through the bumps a little bit and try and make peace with it, and see if you can like lean into the bumps and make it fun, right? Like you're sitting there and like if you're on a dirt road, sometimes even if I'm by myself in the car, I'll be driving on a dirt road because I live in a fairly rural area, and it's just like you hit the bumps and you're like you try to like rock it through. So, and it just makes it fun, right? It makes something very unpleasant fun because all you hear are the rocks hitting the bottom of the car and you're like, oh no, right? At least I'm like that with my car, but that's where it's like it turns it into something more fun. And maybe that's the 5th house thing, is like leaning into the fun where these transformations are taking place, because it's going to make something that is a steady and ongoing process not just more endurable, but it's going to give you the endurance. And I think that's what these cards are here to really say, is like this is the endurance piece. And, I think that there is love in this, but the storyline here for you, Capricorn, isn't the love coming in. It's the love that you have for yourself. 3333 on the time. It's the love that you have for yourself. Yeah. Okay, now I'm going to pull from the Miracles Now deck, because that's what we do around here to close out readings. Spirit, can you give me some messages from the Miracles Now deck for my wonderful Capricorns for this eclipse reading, please? I don't dance around the perimeter of the person I want to be. I step in fully and completely. Yes, this is about that I'm hearing wild abandon. Like, I love watching, when I go for a run sometimes at the track, there will be dogs that come in as soon as they get like off leash, which is fine. I'm dog people, so it doesn't it's fine. I'm animal people. but like you can see, it's like the dog is just having the best day of its life ever when it gets off leash, and it just starts to like tear through the field, and you can see the smile on its face in that freedom. And I think it's about finding those places where you can just, your responsibilities matter still, your obligations matter still, your day-to-day matters still. There's just a way though that you're able to step into this freedom, Capricorn. This, I'm hearing wild abandon. I step in fully and completely. Like all the things that you lose yourself in, right? When I feel blocked, emotionally distressed, or overwhelmed, I turn to my breath. Absolutely. That's definitely a call for more meditation, Cap. I think it's a call for some meditation here, but leaning into, I think that there's a change here, a change in the wind, as it were. But I think that you are, I think that you're understanding that you do embody universal love, and that you are a container for consciousness, that you are a container for consciousness. And that's not something that, it's not indicative of worth, because we are all, possessing that capacity. But I think that what you're doing is understanding that there is something about you that is inherently worthy of being that container. And whether that connects to work, whether that connects to relationship, I think that this is about a shift in beliefs for you, Capricorn. And sometimes the small ones, like the pages tend to represent small messages, small offers. You do have an Ace of Pentacles in here, so this is something that's truly valuable and important to you. This is an important process. But I think the page energy emphasizes that there's something that's just like, it's unassumingly powerful. There's an unassumingly powerful shift happening here for you right now, Capricorn. So I'm going to leave the reading there. I would like to thank you. If this resonated for you, Capricorn, please do like and subscribe. It helps me to grow the channel and to continue to do this, which I absolutely love to do. And I'm so grateful for you being here and joining me here. So if you want to connect, you can do so in other ways. Please do check out other videos on the channel if you so desire. But if this is where we leave it, Capricorn, have a wonderful solar eclipse.